Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 5. So let's get to it, shall we? I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with the review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Power Book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, rock stars, y'all got to excuse my eyes are swollen today, child. The allergies. I've been rubbing them. Okay, so good thing I got these bangs, which was strategic, by the way. All right, you guys, so the show opens with us seeing a flashback of Fame. At least we believe it's Fame and his mother and sister. We get to see when he was just a little boy and his mom was stuck in an abusive relationship. The man beating on the mama, Fame being a little boy and not being able to protect his mom or his sister. But one day after the mom has finally had enough, when the man go to sleep, mama go and wake up Fame and tell him, like, pack up your shit, come on, we about to go, So they pack up their stuff in the dead of the night and run out to the car, except Famous forgot his toy. Damn it, boy, that toy, I'm gonna get you another one. Get your ass in the car. No, he runs back in the house. Of course, the man has awakened. And he's like, where the fuck is your mom and your sister? And Fame is able to get away because he is stabbed. I still didn't see who stabbed him. I was like, who stabbed the man? Did Fame stab the boy? Did the man, did the mama stab the man? Because all of a sudden the mama was like, let him go. She was in the doorway. And I never really could see clearly what exactly happened there. The man got stabbed, okay? Fame was able to run away. They run to the car. He's like, you fucking crazy people. I'll kill you. I'm going to kill you and your daughter. I'm going to kill. They go to a shelter. And, it's pretty bleak. But Fame promises his mom then that he's never going to let anybody mess with her again. He going to protect his mama. And I said, and look at how she thank him. Calling the police because you find a gun, lady. Why did you think that was smart? Present day, she's at the police station trying to find out where her baby boy is. All right. As far as Garcia and Captain is concerned, you already know they think that he's a fugitive. But she knows that Fame was not a fugitive. She was like, he was going to turn himself in. And he was just like, oh, well, I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe you need to go talk to his boy, Kanan. She was like, Kanan Stark? Kanan Stark is like his best friend. He wouldn't know anything. He's like, that's what you think. But Kanan knows everything that goes down on the streets. Even though his mom don't believe he was a part of the streets or whatever. I mean, I guess that's what she gonna have to do. I was like, what police officer tells a concerned citizen, a mother of a victim, no less, possible victim anyway, to go check with the friend? I'm telling you, these people on damn Power, I don't know where they come from. He gonna try to pontificate, the oldest friend have the deepest scars. Oh, shut up. Jumping over to Marvin and Rock, Marvin and Rock are still trying to figure out, what all is going on with their warehouses, with the Asian folks and everything. She about sick of Terry, though. She was like, Terry is tripping. She's frustrated. She tell Marvin, see, that's exactly why she ain't married, because niggas don't listen. Okay, until you got to show up and act a fool on them. You got to pop out on them. Then she tells him how the police came by and told her that, Andre was killed. Marvin was like, damn, not Andre. Okay, he got us out of a whole bunch of shit. He gonna miss old Andre. I said, yeah, you guys definitely gonna miss Andre. Jumping over to Kanan, we see Kanan talking to, one of his boys from the street, the small person, okay? And, he's one of his quirkier team members, if you will. And he's a little concerned. Hey, Kanan, I know you working with your mom and everything. Like, what's she gonna say about you skimming off the top? Because y'all know Kanan is stealing money off the top of the money that's, supposed to be going to her. And Kanan is just like, basically, you need to worry about you. And as long as I take care of you, you shouldn't worry about nothing else, But, he's concerned, like, your mama ain't, that's playing with fire there. Kanan said, don't worry about it. He got it. As a matter of fact, if you just need some more money, just say that. You ain't got to be worrying about what's going on between him and Rock. And this money that Kanan is skimming off at the top, he's actually keeping it in a storage bin. He has like a big old Tupperware, you know, that you put your Christmas decorations and shit in. He got a big old Tupperware full of money, and he's keeping it in a storage bin. So we'll see how that serves him later, I guess. Now, Juke is sitting down with her girl Mara. Okay, and Mara's just like, I don't really know what happened. They just said that, he was dead and gone. And Juke was like, you don't say. I know you my girl and everything. I'm gonna just ask you this one time, just one time, and please don't lie to me. Was you involved in something happening to Aaron? And Juke was like, me? No, girl. Why would I be involved? Because, it just so happened. It happened on the same day that he got killed. You asked me, where did he live? And Juke was like, I just asked you that, girl, because if you came up missing or something happened to you, at least I know the first place to look. No, I didn't do nothing. But is it a bad thing? Do that shit make her look bad? Juke was like, no, not at all. Okay. All right. Well, good. Because she don't think so either. Later on, Juke is talking to Marvin, trying to help him out. Marvin, he getting a little bit long in the tooth, out there trying to still beat up people and shit. He don't bounce back as quickly as he used to. So, Juke is trying to help him out and everything. And he was just like, hey, Juke, we haven't talked about what happened, with us and old boy, And Juke was just like, because it ain't really nothing to talk about. He was just like, well, that shit can weigh heavy on you. You sleeping all right, been able to eat fine. Hey, Juke is fine. Sleeping and eating just fine. Okay? And he was like, I don't know, Juke. Maybe the army made you comfortable with killing niggas. And she was like, yeah, not really the army. Hell, she been a soldier out there in them New York streets for quite some time. Now, let's jump over to Lou. So we see Lou and the girl, the new partner that he's got to work with, the one that's part of marketing. They going around, they looking at the talent. I guess she done told Lou she gonna take him around to see the people. So they going around, Lou not all that impressed. He got his damn toothpick in his mouth and he all just like, I thought you said you was gonna come with some talent. And she was just like, oh, just hold on. We just getting started. Okay. So they going around New York and whatnot, going to see all these different places. They end up at this one group. All right. It's 5 of them, I'm assuming. Okay. Because this is New York and everything. It looks like this is supposed to be some sort of knockoff, if you will, of the Wu-Tang Clan. I believe so anyway, okay? They call themselves the Drawdown Disciples, okay? But it kind of gives you that same sound, that same feel, Lou is kind of feeling them like, okay, now he listening. He's like, you might have something here with this group here. And she was just like, yeah, she already knows. She aimed to please. And that's what's going on between the two of them. They real flirty back and forth. At first, Lou didn't pick up on it. But then, once he started to realize that it might be something with old Shorty here, I was just like, oh, okay, you finally realize, okay, she might be a little sweet on you, Lou, just a little bit. Now, jumping over to Unique, we see Unique. He's still smoldering, crazed, raging, is bottled up inside and whatnot. He's walking around in his old neighborhood once again to give money to his family. Okay, leaves a stack of money in the mailbox, walks off. Then we see him, he goes and talks to old Phil. And Phil looks at him and he kind of disgusted, like, motherfucker, I thought you was dead. All right, that seems to be what everybody thinks. But anyway, Unique is still here. Phil was like, you lucky that I don't kill you right now. Just because old boy is his homeboy, he not gonna do nothing to Unique. So then, Unique is all telling them, Rock tried to kill me. Rock went out and he killed Sal. He this, that, and the other, and he mad, and he gonna go back at her, and, do Phil want to get in on all of this? And Phil is looking at him like, nigga, what? Like, we've never really been partners. Okay, well, it don't hurt to have a partner in crime. Well, he was like, oh, and Sal didn't really like you, he didn't really trust you all that much. And, Unique was just like, oh, him and Sal, they just had miscommunication problems. As far as this whole thing with Rock, Phil was just like, nah, I ain't heard nothing about the black broad down there trying to kill you. Nothing heard. And Unique was like, well, how would you know? How would you know what's going on in them black streets? You don't run down there like I do. Who would know better, me or you? And Phil was like, nigga, wait a minute, hold the fuck up now. Don't ask me questions. I ask you the questions. Phil was like, why am I arguing with this dead man? Okay, Phil was just like, you know what? How about you get the fuck up out of here? Don't leave from my view right now. Rock ain't never did shit to you, and I respect, Fish too much, so get the fuck on, basically. So Phil he don't really see it for Unique right now. Unique leave out of there. And of course, when he gets in his car, because he's not quite used to problem solving anymore, he's all, I was just like, oh, here come the crazed raginess. It's back. It's back, you guys. So, when he leaves from there, he's driving down the street. He pulls up on old Worker, the small person that was talking to the little quirky guy that was talking to Kanan earlier. Okay, he pull up on him while he's walking down the street. He look at Unique. He like, fuck. So he gets on in the car with Unique, and, Unique was just like, so, what have you heard, little nigga, basically. And he was like, you got any napkins? My allergies. I was like, I know what you mean. Unique was like, nigga, use your sleeve. Shit. Do you know anything? And he was just like, yeah, Kanan is taking money off the top of Rock's money, and so far he don't seem to be worried about it. But, as far as the little man is concerned, that's something that they need to be worried about. And, Unique was like, yeah, but it ain't really stealing if that's from your mom's. Nope. I would be willing to differ. I'm willing to bet that Rock would look at that as being stolen from as well. Hell, Rock probably knows. He also tells Unique how Rock got beef with Quan right now. She looking for a new supply, She like looking for product. Okay, so now that Unique has been brought abreast of the situation, he tell Lil Nigga to get the fuck up out of his car. Damn, Unique. Now jumping back over to Rock and Marvin. So they go down there to see David and Terry, right? Except that Terry's not there. So, they talking to David like, David, where's your brother Terry? He was just like, oh, he's not here right now. They was like, why the fuck every time we come down here, he's not down here? Okay. And he was just like, well, I can see how that could be concerning to you. You know what? Now you playing, and we're going to have to slap the fire out of you. So, Marvin give him a mean backhand. And, Rock was just like, listen, we're going to give you a little pass on the fact that you didn't know what you was getting into when we got into business with each other. But now you know fully what you're doing. And the fact that you know that and you still playing with us is not a good damn idea. Okay? So you gonna stop this shit. So, David was just like, well, just everybody is afraid. Terry is like afraid. We not used to this kind of shit. And she was like, that was just a hiccup. Everything is going back smooth again. We need Terry to be moving product. Like everything needs to be back on the flow. Okay, well, David is going to have to let Terry know that. So when they leave from there, Rock was like, I got to get to Terry because David think we playing and we don't really have the time to be playing no more. I'm sick of this shit. So what I need you to do is you need to press him. And when I say press him, I mean press him hard, but don't press him too hard because at the end of the day, we still got to work with these motherfuckers. Let me tell you something. Rock was acting her ass off. Bettina, is that her name? She was acting her ass off in this episode. Now, jumping back over to Fame's mom and all that. She goes and talks to Kanan, okay? And Kanan and Juke are there. And, she was just like, listen, the police told me to come to you. They said that if anybody would know anything about Fame being gone, it would be you. And, he's like, I'm sorry, Miss Fame's mama. I don't know anything about it. And she was just like, he was like, I told them that. Who told you that? Okay, and he was like, was it Garcia? And she said yes. And so then he got a phone call, so he had to walk away. And she was just like, I just really need to know. Like, do you know where he is? She's asking Juke, and Juke is just like, hell, like, we want to know too, And so then Kanan comes back in the room, and he was just like, we told you before, we don't know, but we want to know just as bad as you do. And we promise we going to find out exactly where he is. It's just that we got to go now because there's been a family emergency. He look at Juke, but they got to go. Poor Fame mama, she just distraught. She have another flashback. This time to when Fame was little again and just showing how Fame was such a good kid, a sweet, caring kid. He cared about every living being, He comes home and she's like, Fame, what are you hiding in the closet? And he was like, nothing, and she goes over to the closet and moves him out the way, and it's a dog in there. And then he was just like, I'm sorry, Mom. He's like, I just had to, the dog followed me home and it's cold outside and he didn't have anywhere to go and, he can't go out there. his sister's like, I told you mom wasn't going to let you keep the dog. And she's like, who says that he can't keep the dog? You're going to have to take care of the dog. This is your responsibility. It's all going to fall on you, And Fame is just like, okay, mom, I promise I will. Okay. Fame is so sweet. All right. And where is her baby boy? In the meanwhile, Kanan and Juke, they rush to the grandmother. The grandmother done failed, child. They want to call the ambulance. Like, you hurt. And she was just like, I'm fine. And don't call the ambulance because she ain't paying for it. Who paying for the ambulance? That's all she worried about. You got to go to the ambulance. Don't worry about who paying for the ambulance. You got to go to the hospital. And we going to make sure you okay. You might have knocked something around when you fell down. That's as long as you know she ain't about to be paying for this ambulance. Now, jumping back over to Lou and Old Girl. So, looks like Lou and Old Girl are going to be working with Drawdown Disciples and Old White Boy. This white boy that's, pretty nice on the mic. Okay? Except Old Girl tells Lou, it's going to be a little trickier. His mom is a big-time lawyer. So she kind of knows contracts a little differently. So, we might have to work a little harder, a little differently with the white boy and whatnot. But she got an in, she used to go to Brown with Old Girl. Okay, so that's gonna be her in with her. But again, I'm telling you, she been flirty with Lou all day, and it doesn't change here. She actually finally asked Lou, you want to go out later for a drink? I was like, oh, well, this is escalating quite quickly, right? Okay. Maybe she moves a little faster than others, but okay, I'm still liking the little cat and mouse thing happening here. But she's all up on him and everything. She want to show him her record collection. And so that's when Lou finally gets the pictures. Damn, it's like that. Yeah, it looks like it's like that, And she seems to be making it known to him, except for Lou gets a page, And I was just like, okay, girl, because you need to cool down a little bit. Damn. You just met him. We just been on the hunt. They have been working together for more than a damn week. And she doing all of this. You won't be able to get your hot, horny hands on him right now. He got something he got to go do. Now, we see Rock. She goes back and she talking to Quan. And, Quan is still fucking with her. And she was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Quan? Like, what I do to you, okay? Not the fuck that I care, because I don't give a fuck. But I still want to know, like, why you always fucking with me? And Quan was just like, I don't like you. You're messy. You like to throw the rock and then hide your hand. People in your crew die and you don't do anything. You sit on it. And she was just like, there's a method to her fucking madness. And you stole Unique's business. I respected Unique. He was a man of his word. And she was just like, a man of your word, huh? I can't tell. Nigga, you say one price and then you change it. You want respect, but respect is earned. Okay, because this right here, this some bitch shit. Then he gonna try to hit below the belt. He said, I talked to your son. I hope you're a better business person than you are a mother. She was just like, you know what, Quan, fuck you. She ain't got time. She ain't got time. He was just like, and you know the way out, So then she gets a page. I'm figuring that everybody is getting called to the hospital. Because we're back at the hospital, we see the doctor telling Kanan and Juke that Granny is declining quite quickly and she is not going to be able to take care of herself. Like, she's going to need some sort of in-care help, And so Lou walks in right when all this is going on. Luke was like, oh, it's not going to be me. I can't be nobody's nurse, and I definitely can't be that lady's nurse. You better tell Marvin, you better tell Rock. But as far as Lou is concerned, he can't do it like that. They was like, no, fool, you hire a nurse, okay? And he was just like, oh, well, where's your grandmother at? At least let me get credit for being here already. He the first child there. But then, you guys, when he leaves there, next thing we know, we see Lou is in the bed with Old Girl. I was just like, see, I already don't like her. I don't like her because, one, you too fucking easy. Because y'all just, we couldn't play a cute little flirty, you chase me game for at least a month? Girl, you already in the bed. I don't like her. And then, of course, when they in the bed and then she get to asking him questions about Fame and that sister, I was just like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. Something about it. Because he was just like, damn, you're checking up on me? Yes. And knowing what family you come from, you ought to be extra concerned about that, Lou. And knowing that Fame might be in some trouble, you should be extra concerned about that, Lou. Damn, Rain. It's going to keep on coming, right? Yeah, we're going to keep our good eye on Old Girl. Okay, now Marvin, he did finally get to the to the mother, and she's all in pain, but she still gotta tell him, like, you so good, Marvin, you big and strong. Don't let Rock make you feel small and weak. You ain't never been small and weak. You's big and strong. I was just like, why you gotta tell him all this? This the kind of words that you give your kids on your deathbed, lady? Shit. But you guys, we're gonna give moms a pass because mom is in a lot of pain. Okay, it's actually unbearable pain. She can't bear it, And so she's telling Marvin, without telling Marvin, that she wants him to go on and pull the plug on her. All right. He was just like, Mama, what you asking me to do? And she was just like, I got the stuff. I got some from a nurse. I was just like, boy, everybody crooked around there. She got some extra morphine from a nurse that she done paid extra money for. And all he got to do is just inject her. She done. She can't live like this. She in a lot of pain. And I felt really bad for Marvin because I don't know how easy or hard it has to be to sit there and listen to your parents, somebody that, it would be difficult for me as somebody that I love my mother to death. And the fact that it's hard for Marvin, and they don't really even like the mother like that, the fact that it's hard, that's got to be very, very difficult, next to impossible, But then again, this person is in pain and they're begging you, a terrible position to be in, right? But she wants him to do it. Okay, I guess Marvin gonna have to think about that. I was like, don't do it, Marvin. Now back to Rock. Even though Rock had got that page, I keep wanting to say tweet. Even though that Rock got that page, Rock's still busy. Okay, Rock goes back to see Hafiz, whatever it is. Okay, and he was like, last time you were here, I told you that don't call me, I'll call you. Why are you already back in my face? And she just was just like, basically, as time is money. I ain't got time to be sitting around waiting for you to call me back. I need to know, like, are we going to be able to do business together? If not, I need to know so I can move on. Okay? I got to go. He was just like, listen, Rock, it's problems down there in Queens. It's territorial issues. Territorial issues are always problems for business. And she was just like, I can set up a meeting. I can make it all happen. I just need to know what we doing. She said, but you need to know this. Like, if you're going to be working with me, it's just me. Like, I'm the one that's calling the shots. You only going to be working with me, nobody else. He was just like, oh. You sound like somebody, you kind of sound like somebody that's been betrayed. And she was just like, I sure have been. I move like somebody that's been betrayed too. That's what you need to remember. How she moved, not how she sound. So yeah, remember that, and Rock gonna set the meeting up. So when Rock gets home from the meeting, she walking up to the house, and here go Unique, baby mama. Did you do this? Rock was like, what, girl? What are you talking about? Did you do this? And she said, do what? Leave this money in my mailbox. Rock was like, now, how much fucking sense do that make? Why would I be leaving you some money in your mailbox? Oh, because you killed Unique and you feel guilty for taking him away from his family? Ain't that much guilt in the world. No, sweetheart. Rock did not put no money in the mailbox, okay? Maybe one of his friends is looking out for him, trying to look out for his family. And I'm about sick and tired of everybody thinking that I did something to Unique. I did not kill Unique. All right? Please get that through your thick skull. I said, I sure hope somebody else was listening. Now, when Marvin had left, he goes and talks to Terry. And, Terry is still adamant. Like, he didn't know that this was what the shit was going to be when he, got started with it. But you know what? He got one better for Rock. He out the business. Marvin was like, no, you can't get out the business. Oh, yes, he can, because his wife said it. And as far as he's concerned, he would rather be fighting with Rock instead of fighting with his wife. But you know what? He ain't doing this shit no more, and he fixing to go and talk to the damn police, because he not scared of the police, but he know that Rock and Marvin is scared of the police, and he gonna see what's gonna happen there. I said, you done said the wrong thing. All right, Marvin was just like, watch your mouth. Oh, Terry gonna keep on going, because that's one thing that Terry gonna do is keep talking. And honey, Marvin push his ass down, shoot him, and then shoot him a whole bunch more times. And shoot him like 6 times, because nigga, you talk too much. So now Terry dead. Now they got a bigger problem on their hands. We'll wait till Rock find out about that one. Then this last little sequence of events was pretty sad, you guys. We see this little boy. He's in a local, what do you guys call that, a bodega? Okay. And he's kind of looking around sheepishly, looking like he about to try to steal something. He gets something, and sure enough, yeah, he about to try to steal it. As soon as he about to walk out the door, the guy that works in the store sees him and chases him, okay? The little boy take off running, and he runs to an alley, all right? And he call himself trying to hide away. The man come running out behind him. I say, all right, Poppy, you kind of far away from the bodega, ain't you? You be careful. But when they get in the alley and the little boy across the way, he see a old mattress just all nasty and wet. It's raining and shit. This is an alleyway, and you can see somebody's hand sticking out underneath it. And I was like, that cannot be good. That was the first thing. Secondly, that's most likely Fame. And long story short, you guys, that was Fame up under the mattress, and I felt so bad for poor little Fame. I mean, I kind of had a feeling that he was dead, but I was kind of hoping that he wasn't. But yeah, you guys, that was Fame. So they done called the mama, and the mama done went down there, and, you know, they was like, you don't really want to see the body, you know, because it's, and she was like, I gotta see it. I gotta see that that's my boy, you know. So they uncover the body, and she's able to see it, and she has a breakdown. And I felt so bad for the poor mom. I was just like, oh, poor Fame. Like, dang, what Fame do to anybody except for be friends with that damn Kanan? It's his fault. When we saw the flashback of the mom thinking about, you know, the last conversation her and Fame had, you know, that we saw anyway, where, you know, he apologized to her for tripping and acting the way that he had been, and, you know, she apologized to him for acting the way that she had been, you know, and they loved each other, and I was just like, oh, poor Fame and poor Fame mama. More on them in a second. Anyway, back to Marvin. We see Marvin. He go back and see his mama. Okay? And mama in the bed. She really in pain, you know. And Marvin come in the room. And I guess this is the day he decided that he was going to try to go on and give her this morphine, you know. So he goes in there. The morphine is sitting over in a tray. He pick it up. He pick up the syringe. And I was just like, oh, Marvin, I promise you, this is not going to be good. You think you fucked up now in the head. You really gonna be if you do this to your mama. Okay? So he's trying to do it, but then he can't do it. And when he don't do it, she go off on him. You good for nothing. I knew it. You was sorry. Marvin is sorry. You always can't do nothing. You know, get out of here. And just put him down like that. I was just like, see there? The woman is going, I mean, I know she in pain, and I know it's pain unlike any other kind, you know, but still. Okay, good thing you didn't do it. Unique goes and reveals itself to Quan. So slowly but surely, Unique is starting to reveal himself. It's just a matter of time before Rock finds out. I mean, damn, maybe within the next 2 or 3 episodes, Rock will find out that Unique is still alive. Back to Fame, y'all. Just real sad. We see Kanan. He gets a phone call. And he was just like, hello? You said what? Who told you that? I don't believe it. Who said that? You know. And then, yep, they telling you the truth. Okay, your boy Fame is no longer here. And then this is where I was looking real closely, because I was like, I'm going to see how you react to this. Okay, because you better not have nothing to do with it. But no, Kanan don't have nothing to do with it, because he throw the fucking phone to the side like, motherfucker. Okay, and then all of a sudden you hear 50's voice coming, well, what you want me to say? You know, death is hard, motherfucker. And, you know, here we go. I'm sad, nigga. I've been knowing him since he was kindergarten. You know, always 50 always got to come in there with his extra 50 centisms. I'm sad, nigga. You should be sad too. Leave me the fuck alone. Poor Kanan just break down and cry, and I was just like, oh, that is too bad. I knew that Fame most likely was going to be dead, but I still just, oh, poor little Fame. You just see his little goofy face. I was just like, poor Fame, he didn't deserve to go out like that. They better find out who the fuck did that to him. Who killed Fame? All right, you guys, that is it. I'm going to get off of here and go walk my dog. Well, just let him out to pee, actually, because ain't no walking in this rain. I hope you guys was able to hear everything okay. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.